The police are on their way, putting my date in a headlock. They ended up fleeing the island. I was the reason they got kicked out. I think he ever talked to me after that. Didn't want to fuck with Croatian police. Me and Octavia, my housemate / one of my best friends, went to Lisbon in 2024. So I was on Hinge at the time. I had matched with some guy. Me and Octavia went out for dinner and then we'd had a few drinks. And then I was like, come on, let's go like party. And she was like, can't be fucked, I want to go to bed. And I was like, no, I want to go out drinking. I went and met up with this Hinge date and Octavia went home. We met at some like party on like the outskirts of town. This sounds very ominous. It was all very fine. It was actually in a really cool venue. You had to go through like a kitchen and then like a fridge to get to the club at the back. So it was actually really sick. We'd had a few drinks before dinner. Then I was obviously nervous going to meet up with this Hinge date, so I had a few more drinks. I think he had tried to maybe come on to me, which obviously that was like I had gone to meet up with this Hinge date at this party. He probably thought, you know, we're gonna like hang out here. Then I come to and I'm in the club and I've got this Hinge date in a headlock and I'm like scruffing his hair like this. And then I came to and I was like, Amelia, what are you doing? Stop. So I don't think he ever talked to me after that. Then I like for some reason like left him, again came to again on the dance floor and I was dancing by myself and like it was like a dome style dance floor where the DJ was in the middle and I looked across and he was like across dancing with other friends and I was like, what? Why? Why am I at this party alone in Lisbon after just putting my date in a headlock? Like, go home. But yeah, I just completely ruined it by putting him in a headlock and scruffing his hair. It's just me to an absolute T. I get told a lot that I have an incredibly monotone voice, which probably doesn't pair well with storytelling because you probably don't know where the climax of the story is because it's always just a deadpan tone. Hvar in Croatia. We went there again, I think in 2024. You don't really need to know what years we went, but anyway, I'm just setting the scene. And we're at Hula Hula Beach Bar. If you haven't been, if you go into Hvar, you have to make the pilgrimage to the Mecca that is Hula Hula Beach Bar. Of the night when the sun's setting, it sets like over the water and they've got the music playing and everyone's drinking rosé and you're swimming in the water and it's like a real vibe. We were there, the three of us. Again, I think maybe we'd run out of things to talk about and we didn't have any cards or anything. And then we saw some like boys in the corner and we were like, Gemma, go up and talk to them and see if they want to hang out with us. And she was like, no, I can't, I'm too ashamed. We were like, please, Gemma. She's like, why don't you guys? And we're like, no, I couldn't either. I couldn't possibly go up to some random boys. Anyway, so we're going back and forth for like an hour. And then she finally mustered up with the courage and went over there. They ended up being like, I don't know, maybe like 5 guys. Super nice. And then we ended up hanging out with them for the rest of the night. Super lovely people. We ended up becoming like the best of friends. And then we were just drinking and drinking and drinking. And then we went back to their Airbnb and we were like smoking on the balcony and drinking outside and having a ball. We were staying in like an apartment complex and the owner like lived upstairs. So we like got a knock on the door and they were like, fucking wrap it up. No more guests, like go to bed kind of thing. And we're like, yeah. So we brought it inside. I mean, I think I kept turning the music back up. They kept saying, Millsy, turn it down. I was like, no, this song's really good, and kept turning back up again. I think it happened maybe 2 more times whereby I kept turning the music back up. The lady kept coming down saying, fucking stop it. And at like, I think maybe 5 a.m, she came down and was like, get out. The police are on their way. So the boys got kicked out of their Airbnb. We had just left at that point though. It was like 10 minutes after us leaving they got kicked out. So they ended up fleeing the island, I think. They were so paranoid that the police were going to come and get them and they didn't want to fuck with Croatian police. So they left the island entirely. I was the reason they got kicked out, which I'm really sorry for. I was so apologetic when I found out the next day. Anyway, until when I edit this, I'm going to be like, shit story, shit suggestion, shut up with your monotone voice. On that note, thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you next week. Love you. Bye.